Okay, moving on. Alright, sadly the suffering is not limited to one refugee camp. There are millions of Africans that are now in danger of starvation. A recent article in the Telegraph described how bad things are getting in parts of Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti, and Uganda. And I quote, 2 consecutive poor rainy seasons have resulted in one of the driest years since 1950-51. In many pastoral zones, Elizabeth Beyer, spokesman of the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, said there is no likelihood of improvement in the situation until 2012, she added, end quote. A lot of these people don't have any money. If aid was not rolling in from elsewhere, they would be dropping dead all over the place. Well, guarantee you that I don't know. It's very sad. Food prices are rising so quickly in these areas that it is becoming difficult for anyone to be able to afford to buy food. Terror Fund Executive Director Steve Tollestrup says that food prices in the region are really getting out of control. For example, yellow maize prices in the Ethiopian Jiga grain market had risen by 117% from May 2010 to May 2011, while white maize of the Mandera market in Kenya had risen by nearly 60%. In some areas of the Horn of Africa, we are starting to see food riots. For example, the following is a brief excerpt from a recent Reuters report. Kenyan police fired tear gas to disperse people protesting in the capital on Thursday against high food and fuel prices and a shortage of maize, whatever that is, which has enraged many in East Africa's biggest economy. When people cannot even feed themselves, they have nothing left to lose. Today, there are approximately 2 billion people that spend more than half of their income on food. So what are they supposed to do when the price of food doubles? Are they supposed to spend every penny they have just on food? Most Americans have no idea what it is like to have to scratch and claw just to survive each day. There are hundreds of millions of people around the globe that are engaged in a desperate struggle to survive. Meanwhile, the speculation and the big Wall Street banks feel no guilt at all when they drive up the price of food in order to make a few extra bucks. Look, the truth is that what we are seeing in Africa right now is just the beginning. When the global economy crashes, things are going to get a lot worse. Right now, a significant percentage of the global population can barely afford to buy enough food to eat. Most people do not realize this, but when the global financial system totally collapses, there's a real possibility that we could see mass starvation. The following are 12 signs that the world is running out of food. Number 1. More than 3 billion people, close to half the world's population, live on less than $2 a day. Over the past year, the global price of food has risen by 37%. Just about every major agricultural commodity has been skyrocketing in price. Check what a recent Bloomberg article had to say about what has been happening to many key agricultural commodities over the past year. And I quote, corn futures advanced 77% in the past 12 months. In Chicago trading, a global benchmark rice gained 39% and sugar jumped 64%. There will be shortages in corn, wheat, soybeans, coffee, and cocoa this year or next. According to Utrecht, Netherlands-based Rabobank Grow-Up, prices also rose after droughts and floods from Australia to Canada ruined crops last year. European farmers are now contending with their driest growing seasons in more than 3 decades. According to the World Bank, it's number 4, 44 million more people around the globe have been pushed into extreme poverty since last June because of rising food prices. Sadly, rising food prices is not a new trend. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the global price of food has gone up by 240% since 2004. Number 6, to a large extent, this global food crisis has been brought on by the greed of the wealthy. A study by the World Institute of Development Economics research discovered that the bottom half of the world population owns approximately 1% of all global wealth. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 58. The average income per person in the poorest countries on the continent of Africa has fallen by 1/4 over the past 20 years. It is estimated that over 80% of the world's population lives in countries where the income gap between the rich and the poor is widening. Number 9, approximately 1 billion people throughout the world go to bed hungry every single night. Number 10, every 3.6 seconds someone starves to death, and 3/4 of them are children under the age of 5. Number 11, it is estimated that the entire continent of Africa only owns approximately 1% of the total wealth of the world. And number 12, according to the most recent global wealth report by Credit Suisse, the wealthiest 0.5% of the global population controls over 35% of all the wealth on the planet. Those of us that live in wealthy countries have it really good. We get to shovel huge amounts of food into our faces whenever we want. But eventually things are going to change for us as well. Oh, is he right. Global food supplies are getting really tight. If something does not change, we are going to have some real problems. Renowned investor Jim Rogers recently put it this way: we've got to do something or we're going to have no food at any price at times in the next few years. We all saw what happened during the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina and during the aftermath of the tsunami in Japan. When a major crisis occurs, food can disappear from store shelves overnight. The frightening thing is that global stockpiles of food continue to go down. Just check out this report from a recent Financial Post article. Global stockpiles of corn, the most consumed grain, are forecast to drop to 47 days of use, the fewest since 1974. Data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture show inventories are declined as demand continues to outstrip production, as forecast to rise to a 5th consecutive year of record. Most Americans simply do not understand how close we potentially are to a major global food crisis. Hopefully we will not see one anytime soon, but you might want to get ready just in case. Well, keyword is hopefully, but I don't know. Well, that's all I got. Oh, wait a minute. I got 2 more articles I'm going to read to you guys, and that'll just be some other news reports that I found. So, but as far as this marks the end of the line, and I pray that you people out there will wake up to what I have just read to you today and really concentrate on getting your hearts right with your Creator. So, until next time, truth be told, truth be known, stay safe, God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.